Hi, I'm Lauren with Confianz Global, and today I'm going to show you how Odoo can assist you in integrating your business processes to drive efficiency and growth. On our agenda, we're going to answer the question, what is Odoo? Then we'll go through a navigational overview of the system. We'll configure products and contact forms, explore customer relationship management. We'll proceed through a sales workflow. Then we'll review our accounting dashboard. We'll follow it up with an invoicing workflow, a vendor billing workflow, and we'll conclude. What is Odoo? Odoo is a web-based entrepreneurial resource planning system with a fully integrated suite of business applications. Its user-friendly platform and intuitive design is meant to empower users and help companies grow. With a large functional scope such as CRM, sales, purchase, manufacturing, warehouse management, and much more, Odoo can help you fully automate your business processes with a cost-effective and modular solution. Here we are on our home screen. It looks similar to your phone maybe, with icons identifying different departments you might have in your business. But as your company grows, you may decide that you need to add some functionality. Odoo is both modular and extendable, meaning it can grow with you as your company grows. The Apps module is where you can identify and download additional applications you might find useful in your business. Here we've opened it up and we can see it in Kanban view, so it's all listed out showing the modules and their icons. But we could also view this in list form if we chose to do that. If we wanted to review them by categories, we could drill down into, say, manufacturing and see all the modules that are available and related to manufacturing. We'll go back to all. If I wanted to filter these and see what's not installed, I could do that. I also have the ability here to go up and search directly for what I'm looking for. So let's say I'm looking for fleet management. I can find that and go ahead and click the activate button to install it. This just really highlights how scalable Odoo is and how it can grow with your company. Now, back on our home screen, as an administrator, you're going to have access to all the modules that have been installed on your instance. This might not be ideal for your employees, however. So as an administrator, you have the ability to configure and manage what they will see and have access to. You can do this by going to the Settings module. So for example, say you have someone on your sales team, they probably need access to CRM and sales, but you wouldn't necessarily want them in your accounting application doing any billing. So you can manage that in their user form. Here we have our user form, you have the contact information, you have visibility of all of their access rights as well, specifying what type of user they are, and then each module is listed here and you can specify their access rights. So for example, my administrator, I'm going to have access to everything, but let's say we wanted to adjust the accounting access levels, we can specify them here. So you can make it appropriate for your employee and what they need. Now let's go back to our home screen and we're going to take a look at the menu in the top right corner. Here you will notice a couple of functions that may be helpful as you go through your workday. First, we have an activity dropdown, and that's basically a to-do list or tasks that have been assigned to you, such as follow-ups, quotes, any activities. Then we also have a chat bubble here that allows you to instantly communicate with other users in the environment. Say you have questions for Pam in accounting, you're quickly able to instant message her, get an answer to what you need, and it really just increases and encourages collaboration in your business. The final thing we're going to take a look up here is the username. And this has some helpful links for you, such as Odoo resources, including documentation on the system, as well as support, shortcuts, keyboard shortcuts. And then we have dark mode here. This is a new feature for 16. You can toggle this on, and that will turn it into the dark mode for you, just helping with your eyesight. We're going to turn that off though. And then also under My Profile, this is where you can manage your contact information. Here you can see all of the information here. You could add your title, your job position. You can specify how you want to handle your emails, either in Odoo or through emails. So you have account security for password management, your work information here, the location, address. You can specify who approves timesheets, time off, etc. And You can also, up here, you're going to notice you can do requests for time off. So you can get that set up with your HR. So now that we have a general understanding of navigation within Odoo, let's move into our contacts configuration. You can have both internal as well as external contacts here in Odoo, and they can be individuals or companies. In our contacts module, I'd like to point out a few things that we'll see consistently throughout Odoo. First is our green action button. In the contacts module, this will create a new contact, but in general, it's helpful to help a user find the next logical step in the workflow. Again, consistent throughout Odoo, we have the ability to view things in Kanban form, which we have right now. It's kind of similar to what you'd see with the old school business cards, or we can view it in list form. We also have the ability to filter. So if I wanted to filter them by individuals or by companies, I could do that. I can group them by the company or the country, or I could add a custom group as well. Or I can simply search specifically for the contact I'm looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and select our private label hair care, and we're going to discuss the contact form and the configuration. The first thing you'll need to do when creating a contact is to specify whether it is an individual or a company. Then you'll also fill in the company's contact information. You can add tags to the contact as well, and these are useful when filtering for grouping contacts. We have our contacts and addresses tab here. We can add additional contacts here. This is anyone who's associated with this account or vendor in our case, so Sam Stevens. He is held underneath our contact for the company level. Then we have our sales and purchasing. This is where we can specify the vendor's payment terms, method, as well as additional information that they might require. Under the accounting tab, this is where we'll identify the bank accounts as well as the journals for accounts receivable and payable. Then on internal notes, it's just as it sounds. For example, this vendor may not be open on Mondays, and that would be pertinent information for our purchasing department to know, so we would input that here. Then on partner assignment, this is really just the geolocation. You can add those tags as well. Up here on the top of the contact form, we have our smart buttons. These provide a 360-degree view of our contacts and allow us to drill down into the associated records. So if we want to check and see what our meetings are like with this vendor, how many purchase orders we've placed, we can quickly look into their delivery and how consistent they are, if they're on time, or if we need to look for a different vendor, we can drill down that way. Let's say we have some questions regarding a purchase order that was made. We can quickly navigate using our smart buttons. I'm able to drill down into the purchase orders that have been made. I can choose one and then further discover the more details about it. I can look and see when the purchase order was actually placed. We can drill down into the delivery of it, the receipt as it came into our warehouse, when it was received in, and I have full tracking and view of that particular order as it came in, and just really increasing the transparency and accountability within our system. Using the breadcrumbs up here, I can quickly navigate back to any point in the flow without interruption. Users don't need to have multiple tabs open, log in or out of different applications. It's all consolidated into a user-friendly experience, giving a complete view of our relationship with the contact. Over here to the right is our chatter, and this is something that you'll see throughout Odoo. It's where we can log our communication with the associated record, adding a level of accountability and transparency again. We are able to send messages to followers. It is email integrated with Gmail and Outlook. So we can quickly send a message out to them. We can log notes. This is for internal communication. We have the ability to tag a user. We'll note that I got an update and prices are going to need to be changed. So I'm going to add that information into this space here. We'll say, I spoke with Kim about the new price list, and we can add that information. And we'll log that. And then to follow that note up, I can go ahead and schedule an activity. Now, this will be a to-do for me. So I'm going to go to the activities and let's mark this as a to-do. But if we're going to add a summary, follow up on new pricing, that needs to be added there. We can specify the due date and assign it to whomever. We'll push this out a bit. Okay. And then I'm going to add a little bit more detail and just log that we need to get those new price lists for these items. All right. And we'll save that. Okay, and now you can see it's been logged in our chatter and is ready to go. So when it's done, I can mark it done, or I can edit this information. If I want to change the due date or the assignee, I can do that as well. And this chatter, it just really increases the transparency and accountability. It tells me which users created what documents at what time and allows us to easily inquire as to why something was done and come up with conclusions. It really forces users to think before they do something. All right, back to the home screen. Now, another key form we want to set up in our system is the product form. And we can easily navigate to our product form from several of the apps within Odoo. Inventory, sales, purchase, as well as manufacturing. We're going to go in through inventory today though. So we'll drill down there. We'll go up to products and again, products. And it's going to open up in our Kanban view so we can see all of the products we have in our system right now. I can see the pictures associated, I can see the variants as well as the price and quantity on hand. If we want to create a new product, we have our green action button up here in the top left. But we're going to go ahead and drill down into this particular product here for the conditioner. All right. Now, just like our contacts form, our product form also has smart buttons along here at the top. And this time we can see that we have this product active on our website. We can see how many variants we have. We have quantity on hand, our forecasted, the transactions going in and out of our inventory. We can set reordering rules if we would like. So if we know this is a hot selling item and we want to keep some in stock, we can set that here. Now, if this is a product that we manufactured, we'd also be able to drill down into a bill of materials as well, and we can see how much of a particular item we have sold. So first thing we want to do is define whether it can be sold, purchased, or both. And we will only be able to sell a product that has been marked can be sold. So it's very important to make sure you've got that correct. Then under our general information tab, we'll define the product type. Storable is a stockable item. A consumable is not something that we're keeping in inventory. For example, screw or bolts. Now we want to decide how we're going to invoice the customers. We'll also set the units of measure. If there are any internal notes, we can specify that here. We'll make sure that we have our sales price associated, the customer taxes. If we have our tax cloud integration set up, we can have that noted there as well. Under product category, we'll want to, if we wanted to specify that information, this one is currently set to all. If there were any product tags to help with analytics, we could set that as well. So opening up under our attributes and variants, you can see that we have 4, and different attributes that we have are size and scent. So we have the sizes of 6 ounce and 14 ounces. Our scent is the fresh pine, as well as the peppermint. And we're going to go ahead and configure this one so you can see what that would look like. So for the 6 ounce, it's going to be actually less than $4, or $4 less than our 14 ounce. So you'll see when we go back to our conditioner, we had the sales price was set at 20, so this would be a $16. Now on the sales tab, this is our opportunity for referencing our e-commerce or point of sale, we can suggest complementary products to sell within the upsell feature. We can specify on whether we want to keep things showing and selling it if it's out of stock. So all of that information could be added there. Extra media products that we want to add to it. And then under purchasing tab, this is where we're going to define the vendor that we buy the product from. Now, a nice feature here is that you can identify multiple vendors and the cost associated. You can also specify the lead times. For us, that looks like identifying the vendor for each variant. So that's noted here for each particular configuration that we can have. The sales price or the cost is marked and specified there. Now under the inventory tab, this is where you'll define your routes, whether this is something you buy, manufacture, replenish on order. If this were dropship, you'd also be able to find how you'd like to track the product in the system, either by unique serial number, lots, or no tracking. Under the accounting tab, this is left blank and it will default to the journal specified at the product category level. But if you wanted to specify something different than the default, you would also do that on this tab. So once you've got your products configured, you're just about ready to jump into business. And in our case, I'd like to start that with our customer relationship management app. So let's jump into our CRM application now. The CRM opens up in our Kanban view and allows us to see the various opportunities that I have and at what stage in the sales process they are. Now, before we dive too much further into this though, I do want to draw your attention to the top of our menu screen. In the top menu here, we can see that we're able to manage our pipeline, our activities, quotations right here within that module of the CRM. We can also look at leads. We're going to look at that in a minute. If there were reporting, we can do forecasting here, pipeline, leads, and activities as well. And then configuration, we could set our stages, tags, lost reasons, any details with our lead generation as well. And these leads, they can be generated from integrated emails or completed contact forms from your website. We can manually create them. We have one here, the Curated Cuts referral from Trisha. It's got our contact information. It's got a tag noting that it is a referral, so we can add tags to help with analytics. Let's go ahead and drill into this one. It's going to pull in the details. So Curated Cuts, it's a referral from our client Trisha. We can add the customer here if it was a current customer. Curated Cuts is not, so we're going to have that is just going to be adding the company name. We've got our address, and we can go ahead and assign a sales team if we wanted to, or a specific person. We'll add her email, note she's the owner, and her contact phone. Again, tags, if we wanted to add a referral, we can also add additional ones. If this was from the expo that we attended, we could add that there. So we are going to go ahead and convert this to an opportunity. It looks like a great option. You know, we have a referral. So when we open this up, it's going to give us the opportunity to make an action. So we're going to convert it to an opportunity or merge it with an existing one. In this case, we'll leave it as is. Then we also have a customer creation option. So let's go ahead and leave this the way it is, and we'll create the opportunity. All right, so that has gone over and pulled it into a brand new opportunity. It's under our leads. It came from that. It shows our breadcrumbs of where everything started. We have our information coming over. It's in the new stage. Now, if I wanted to, I can move this along as well. We can add internal notes, reach out to them, add a description. We talked with her. She's interested in the shampoo and conditioner line, the 6-ounce peppermint, 20 each. She wants to see how it's going to do in her store. So we're going to go ahead and either save this manually, or it should save automatically for us. We're going to move it to the qualified stage. And when we do that, you'll notice over here on the chatter, it is noted that change. So again, transparency, full tracking as we are going through the stages. We're going to click New Quotation. So we're ready to start our sales workflow. And again, this just really highlights the integration between the modules. It pulled over all of the information from our opportunity. We can set the quotation date, the expiration date for the quotation. We'll set that out. Oops, there we go. We're going to add our product lines here. So we know that she's looking for a shampoo. And this is where our product configurator is going to pop up. We can choose the 6 ounce, and you'll notice the -4 because it is $4 less than our 14 ounce. So that is all accounted for there as well, you can see. So we'll choose that, and we're going to go ahead and select the peppermint as she requested and change the quantity to 20. Confirm that, and it's added to our quote. Then let's go ahead and add our conditioner. Again, the product configurator will appear. We're going to go with the 6 ounce, and we'll change the from fresh pine to peppermint, and again 20 quantity. All right, now this quote is looking good and it's ready to go. I'm ready to go ahead and send it to Tina over at Curated Cuts. So I can do this by the customer preview and send a link. As you can see here, this is what they would see if they were to have a link to do this. Or what I'm going to do today is I'm going to send it by email. Again, integrated with both Gmail as well as Outlook, so that can be configured and set up for you. So we have our template for sending out our quote. The attachment is there. We're going to click send. Okay, and again, all of this is noted in our chatter. We have full transparency of the process and when things are done, which is great. Great for referencing back. So let's say Tina got the quote. She's ready to go ahead and purchase. We'll go ahead to confirm, and that's going to move it from a quotation to a sales order, as you'll see up here in the status. And you'll also notice that we have the graph here is red, and that's indicating that a purchase will need to be made because there's not enough inventory. And you'll also see that that's noted up here on a smart button. It's showing that one purchase order has already been drafted for this, which we could drill in through there. You'll also see the delivery. If we tried to go in and deliver this through the smart button, you'll see that the product is not available. So we'll go back to our sales order. And at this point, we should go ahead and see if creating an invoice. Oh, let's set it for regular invoice. And we're going to get a user error because if you recall on the product form, we set it up that we could not do it without inventory, without delivering on the sales order. So that's noted as there as well. All right, let's go ahead and move to the purchase order at this point because we need to get that into our stock and ship it out to our customer. So here on the dashboard, we can see all of our purchase orders as listed, old purchase orders that we've sent, and this particular one is in RFQ status, so we can see that it is from our source document. This is the sales order we were working on. So we'll open that up, and everything looks good to go. I just want to be certain that this is the correct pricing. So in this case, I'm going to check the source document again, and then what I'd like to do is go ahead and send it by email to the vendor to confirm their pricing. So we'll send it with the attachment RFQ. All right, and that's noted again in our chatter, which is great. And you know what? It looks good. We're ready to go ahead and purchase. So that's completed. We have now the receipt and sale smart buttons up here, which we could jump right into receiving or receive the products from this green action button up here. But we're going to go back and actually receive those from our inventory module, as you would if you were in the warehouse. So once we get into the inventory module, we want to go to receipts up here, and we have one to process. All right, so looking at this, we can see the source document is from our purchase order. We can see who it's coming from as well. So we'll see that the quantity is 20 and 20. So we're receiving this into our warehouse. We want to go ahead and check the document as it came in, that it's correct, all of our slips match. Back to the operations. All right, so we're going to go ahead and validate this. We have all 20 of each item, and we'll go ahead and click apply, and that will set our status from ready to done. Okay, so now we're ready to go ahead and deliver this purchase. So we'll go back to our inventory dashboard or the overview using our breadcrumbs. We're going to go delivery orders, and we have 2 to process. We'll select the one that best suits us. We're going to look for our source document, which is sales order 29. So that is good. We'll go ahead and drill down into this one and proceed. All right, next we're going to go up and print our picking operations, just to show you what the pick slip looks like. As you can see, we've got our product, the quantity, the dates, all set. And then we're going to go to set quantities. We'll say we picked them, we're ready, everything's ready to go, it's packed and ready and out. So we'll validate that. It'll move from ready to done. Okay, and so now that it's been moved to our done state, we're ready to go ahead and proceed with actually invoicing our customer now that it has finally delivered to them or shipped out. So we'll go back to our sales module. We're going to find our to invoice. We have orders to invoice up here at the top. So if we're coming in the morning, we know that we need to check this. We can proceed and push these to our accounting department. So we'll open up our sales order, create invoice. We're going to do a regular invoice, and we're just going to create it because, you know, as a salesperson, we don't have any process with the actual invoice. So we'll go back out to our sales and we'll put on our accounting hat. So now we're going to go into our accounting overview, invoice, vendor bills workflow. Selecting the accounting module, we'll open that up. And here we have our accounting dashboard. It's going to have the various journals that we have. Up at the top, we have some menu items, the dashboard, customers, invoices, credit notes, anything relating to actions we can take with the customers. Again, vendors, bills, accounting. We have the various journals here, reporting, balance sheets, profit and losses, tax reports there, aged receivables and payables, and then configuration as well. We can set up our journals here, tax groups, etc. So we're going to go ahead and drill down now into our customer invoice. So we have 2 invoices to validate. We need to find the one related to our sales order 29. And we can do that. Let's see, right here we have 2. We know that we're looking for the one with curated cuts from Tina. So we'll open that up. We can see it's a status as a draft. All right, so we've got all the contact information has been pulled over. We're going to go ahead and proceed with this. We have the invoice line items. We see that there. The journal items where everything will be accounted, what accounts and such. On the other info tab, we have customer reference or salesperson is there. We'll go ahead now and confirm this draft to an actual invoice. And now we are ready to send it to our customer. So clicking the send and print button, we're going to get a pop-up here. I'm going to deselect print. If I wanted to, I could do that. Or you could send it by email. Post or email. We're just going to send it by email. We've got the attachment there. We'll click send. All right. And now you'll see where the chatter once was, we now have the document preview has come up. We're going to go ahead and register that payment though. Ready to go. And we'll select the journal. It's going to be in the bank, manual method. We're going to make sure the amount is correct, the payment date, the invoice memo will be our invoice number, and we'll create the payment. All right, now you can see that that actual invoice has moved to the in payment state. With the invoice completed and paid, we're ready to go back to our next workflow. We're going to go to our dashboard. We're going to take a look at our vendor bills journal. So we've received our purchase order from the vendor and now we have their bill. How Odoo can help us here is that we're going to need to create a vendor bill. So we can either upload what we have or we can create one manually. The simplest way to do this, though, is to go back to our purchase module and create a draft from our original purchase order. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to select purchase order 16, the original. All of the information matches. We'll go ahead and create the bill. This will create a draft, pulling all the information into our billing. Everything is correct. We're going to add the bill date. And again, the quantities match, the totals match, everything is good to go. Let's go ahead and confirm this from a draft into posted. So now that we've got that, it's been posted, you'll see here, and we're going to register this payment. All right, so we're going to make sure our amount and the bill memo is added here. We'll create the payment and our workflow is complete. You can see it's in payment now. And that concludes our exploration of Odoo 16 today. We've demonstrated how seamlessly Odoo integrates business processes, increases collaboration and productivity within your teams, promotes accountability and transparency. With cloud capability, Odoo is accessible anytime, anywhere, and provides a user-friendly experience. Odoo is a scalable solution that grows as your business grows. Digital transformation is the way forward. If you want to know more about Odoo and how Confianz can help you digitally transform your business, contact us at sales@confianzit.com or call 704-214-4622, extension 403.